So we met up down here at the 1800 and had breakfast. Oh my goodness, it was so good. I had breakfast tacos, and it was more like a taco omelet because you couldn't pick it up and eat it. You had to eat it with the fork. I have no idea where Pete parked. Anyway, yeah, I had the breakfast taco, onions, and bacon and eggs, and a lot of cheese. A little too much cheese, to be honest. And Pete had white people breakfast, and I had Mexican breakfast. So we're being culturally and racially diverse. No, it was good. His looked good too. I think I'm gonna try that next time I go down there. And it wasn't any more expensive than Lorraine's. It was really good. Oh, it was delicious. So
Hey John.
What's that?
Chester's closed.
Completely?
No, just right where we're at. Right on the right, on 24th, and then if you go left at the very first light, at the very first turn, there's just a little bit of dirt. You can go through. That's where I went through.
Oh, okay.
I just crossed because they dug out the ditch right there, but I mean, shit, I'm on a dirt bike, so I just went through there.
I'm right behind you if you wait up a minute. Meet me in front of Valley Gun.
Oh, I'm already past them.
Oh, okay. I'll meet you at the station up there.
Okay, cool.
Bye.
Bye.
Pete has a Sienna. Oh, shoot. Here's the model in front of you. And Pete can talk while he's riding. And I have been tempted to do that. But at the same time, I'm not going to go down there. I'm going to go down here. A little bit of an adventure before we even get out of town. They got the roads closed. Let me go home. Home is whenever I'm with you. Let me go home. Home is wherever I'm with you. Anyway, yeah, I've been tempted to do that, but one of the beautiful things about motorcycling is you are alone in your helmet with yourself. Oh, I see what Pete did. No, I'm not going to do that. That's dangerous. Look at all this mess. It's a Sunday. What time is it? Oh, it's okay. Church is out. That's the problem. I was going to cut across and jump through that dirt, but oh, what a mess. And of course, timing being everything, what did I do? I hit it right at the wrong time. Oh, I see what he's talking about. I'm just going to go south of here. What a train wreck. I don't want to even try to go up in there. Anyway, 1,996 miles. I'm almost at 2,000. Woohoo! Look at this crap. Oh man. Open trench. Let's see what this is about. That is the beautiful thing about riding an Indian bike, is you can go off-road. Oh man. Oh, let's see how it looks through here. The hospital, we won't be needing them today, I hope and pray. I don't have to worry about cars coming from the south down there, because that road's closed. There we go. Detour. Detour, baby. So, 1,996. Almost 2,000. Yeah, Pete's got that Sienna, and he can talk while he's riding, and it sounds really good when you're talking to him. It doesn't sound like... doesn't sound like hell. That's a stop sign you got there, dude. You're supposed to stop. Oh, I hate the way people drive around here. Anyway, I don't think I'll be getting a Sienna. I like that. I had to stop. I had to stop to talk to him. You know, that's fine. If I see somebody's calling, I think it's an emergency, or I really need to talk to them right now, I can pull over. Other than that, I can ignore it. Just ignore it. I'll call you later. I'll call you when I get there. But being able to talk on the phone while you're riding a motorcycle is kind of antithetical to me, to the whole idea of riding a motorcycle, which is to be alone in your helmet, in your bike, just, you know, experiencing the bike and having a good time. That's the whole point. I guess if I were in business for myself and I were commuting on my motorcycle, I would want to be able to talk. I don't know. I can't even see that. For just riding around town, and that's where the temptation was. For just riding around town, it doesn't bother me to stop and talk to somebody while I'm riding, you know, because you're not really enjoying the experience per se. But what you are doing is concentrating. Somebody told me that my video looks really boop, 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 you know, bobbly, because I've got my head on a swivel pretty hard. And, yeah, I do. I look around a lot. I've thought about that. It's been a concern. It's something that I've been thinking about. I want to put a gimbal or something on the helmet so that the camera kind of stays looking forward even when I'm looking around. And before that was mentioned, that's something that's been on my mind. .199.8.1. Where are we going to be when we hit 2,000? Somewhere in Oildale. Oildale. Do, 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 do. So yeah, as I'm getting ready to roll into the 1,999. Woohoo! As we're getting ready to roll into the 2,000 mark, I thought I would kind of give you an update. I guess we're going to buy gas right now, so you'll get to see some fuel economy too. I'm going to do like last time. I'm going to scratch all the pictures and just talk about it while I'm doing it. Thought I'd give you kind of a 2,000 mile, I don't want to say review, because I'm not going to go over the horsepower numbers, the seat height, all that stuff. That, to me, that's part of a review. I've had some comments about how crappy my review was on the review, and you know, I said in the first 5 minutes of that video, I think it was at 5 minutes and 30 seconds or something, I don't know, I'm not gonna go look either. You go look if you want or don't. I don't care. I said in there, this isn't really a review video. It's just an initial impression. It's kind of my impression of the bike. I didn't really intend to do any kind of a review because I, honest to goodness, was not interested in the bike at all. One of my coworkers has been very interested in the Triumph Bonnevilles, and he's got a an old I can't remember if it's a Honda or a Kawasaki. I think it's a Yamaha. He's got an old Yamaha that's, I think it's a Yamaha. I don't know. I don't care. It's a junky old bike, but it looks kind of like this, and it's a 2-cylinder, I think 500cc, and it's not balanced. It's a really vibey. He can only do about 55 miles an hour on it, so it's no fun. He's looked at the Triumphs for a very long time, and when they came out with this bike, there we are, 1,999.9, 2,000, and we are on Day Avenue in Northchester. That's where we're at. How cool is that? 2,000 miles. Oh man. So yeah, when these came out, it was like the affordable Bonneville, you know? It's like almost half the price. So he was really stoked about it. And I'd been goading him into buying one of these, and he did no. So, and the thing is, he doesn't ride anyways. He just owns a motorcycle. If the weather's not absolutely perfect and promised to be absolutely perfect all freaking day, he's not riding. That's just his thing. So that's cool. He's not a biker. He doesn't want to ride, but he does like motorcycles. So to each their own, and as long as the thing is making you happy, oh my goodness, I guess that's really all that matters. 2,000.3. Yes. So Supreme is $4.10 per gallon here. Oh, that's our 91 octane. Whew. Oh yeah. The center hump inside the tank is dry. So yeah, I'd actually could use a little bit of gas here. We'll go up to the bottom of the flange. 1.2 gallons. That's not bad. That's a 50-mile run, huh? I'm gonna shut off the dash cam here and boop, power on. So yeah, I'll tell you, that initial ride was not a review. It was just my impression of the bike. It was with the intention of goading that guy into buying one. And that was the only reason I went and rode these. I do not particularly care. I'm going to put a caveat on here and we'll get back to it. With caveat, I do not particularly care for this style of motorcycle. It is not something I am interested in. Or that was the case when I went and rode it. This was not an interesting motorcycle to me. I really liked the BMW. I just couldn't afford it anymore. I like the Harley okay. I like the Harley. I mean, it's not a comfortable bike, but for around town, it was too loud. You behave yourself, it was too powerful too, but if you behave yourself, that's not an issue. I like Ben's little bike, and after riding it, teaching the boys how to ride, something like this would be more interesting to me. I kind of like this. I haven't rode this yet. Pete's offered to let me ride it to kind of do a motorcycle review of it, and I'm interested in doing that. But I'm not hot to trot to do it. But I went and rode this with the intention of goading a coworker into getting one, and hope, if I, get jazzed about it. I'm not going to lie about it. If it's a sucky bike, then I'm not gonna lie about it, but if it's cool at all, if it's any kind of cool, I'm gonna, you know, jazz him up, get him to buy one so we can ride more. Because his bike's no fun. It's rattly, it's low power, it's no fun to ride. He doesn't enjoy riding it, you can tell he doesn't. But anyway, when I rode this, it won me over. And I mentioned in the video that I had sat on the Thruxton R, and I really like that bike. It was comfortable to sit on, but it's got the clip-on type handlebars like the GT 650 has, and that's not comfortable for me. When I rode the original GT, the Continental GT, I did not enjoy that. I mean, it's a motorcycle, so it's kind of fun, but I don't like that lean forward position, and I've never rode like the Ninjas. Hey, Pete. Let's reset our trip. Oh, I didn't do the gas mileage. I didn't do the gas mileage. I'm sorry, guys. I got talking. 55 miles on 1.205. That's in the mid to high 40s. Do we need to do the math, guys? I think we're all adept enough at mathematics so we can figure that's the high 40s. It was probably 48. 47, somewhere in there. 55.1 miles on 1.205. It's the high 40s. I don't think I'm ever going to break 50 miles per gallon on this bike. I romp too hard on it. Yeah. I'm in the high 40s. That's all right.
Honestly, the way I ride this thing, I think I maybe can get 40, 45.
That's all right.
And I'm okay with that, because my truck gets like 20.
Yeah. So before I decided to be a long hair hippie freak, I came to Pace's barbershop all the time, and John cut my hair and the boys. And when I start getting haircuts again, walk-ins, when I start getting haircuts again, I will come back and see John. Walk-ins welcome. John's good people, and he's pretty damn good at cutting hair. So if you're in the Bakersfield area, you need a haircut, come see John. John's good people, man. And he's a good barber. Like those folks. So, back to what I was saying. The entire intention of doing the initial impressions video on this bike was to goad the coworker there into buying the thing. And he didn't. He saw it when I brought it around the next week, and kind of like, oh wow, you know, and you could tell he wants one, but I don't know what's holding him back. Other than he just doesn't ride motorcycles anyway, so there's no real point in him having a motorcycle because he just doesn't do it. Like I said, for him, if the weather is not absolutely perfect and promised to be absolutely perfect the entire day, he's not doing it. He's just not out doing it, and that's cool. Whatever. If that's what makes you happy, then he's got the perfect bike for him. That's the perfect bike for him. It can just sit there and be a motorcycle and not ever run, and I'm sorry, I'm disgusted by that. Anyway, like an impetuous idiot, I rode the thing and I loved it so much. I'm like, I gotta have this. There's Pete. I'm like, oh my God, I have to have this. It's just so fantastic. And I had already kind of started thinking about selling the Harley. I've been thinking about selling the Harley for a little over a year now. Or, well, a little over a year at the time. I don't know if you can hear the exhaust note on that. This thing sounds so awesome. I'm going to hit that in a second, that point. So yeah, like an impetuous idiot, I was like, oh my god, I love this thing, I have to have it. And my thing is the long rides aren't something I do anymore anyway, and I just haven't. And I think I mentioned in the video where I dropped the BMW off to come pick this up. I think I mentioned that, you know, I only put like 500 miles on all 3 motorcycles in a year, so it's like I'm not, the Harley is not comfortable for anything more than around town, and it's really kind of a pain to ride at that because of the seating position on it. It hurts my hips. The BMW is too big, and you couldn't filter it with the Harley anyways in traffic because the handlebars are so wide. And those handlebars are what makes that bike. Those handlebars are what makes it Grandpa's bike. You can do anything and everything else to the bike, to me, in my mind. And as long as you have the handlebars on it, it's Grandpa's bike. Those dog bone risers and those Flanders handlebars, that's Grandpa's bike. So, anyway, I was already kind of looking at that, and then the BMW had a few problems that cost me, you know, almost $1,000 that year. And I was like, you know what? Maybe the BMW needs to go because that thing's even more expensive. And I'm not kidding. It was more expensive. Anything that broke on it was more expensive than the Harley. And, you know, the reason the Harley parts are so expensive is they're all coated in chrome. They're all coated in chrome. They're all metal, and they're all coated in chrome, and that bike weighs 900 million pounds. So, anyway, I don't know what that was in the road, but I damn near hit it, and I should have signaled to Pete, but he's past it now, so should stop and flick it off the road. Some car's going to pick that up in their tire. Anyway, so yeah, I was already thinking, you know, for more of an around town and occasional out of town romp, after riding this thing, I was like, oh my god, this style of bike is fantastic. I really like it. My feet are kind of tucked up under me a little bit for my height and my size, and I like that. They're not back like they would be on the GT 650. And they're not forward like they are on the Harley. So my hips are in a neutral seating position. I'm going to call it that. I don't know what you call this. My hips are in a neutral seating position. They're not in a bind one way or the other. So that's comfortable. My back is straight and I'm slightly leaned forward. So like I'm going to kick it up a gear. I'm doing 60 right now. The wind is blowing on my chest and I can feel that. But if I slide my butt back just about an inch, I'm leaning forward into it. For my height, that's perfect. I love that. The wind is kind of holding me up a little bit. It's not pushing me back where I can't go. Now, can I do 80? No. Probably not. Well, not for a long period of time, but I could do 60 all day on this thing. It's comfortable for that. So I guess, you know, I'm rambling, but let me ramble on into the likes and the dislikes. Let's put it like that. Let me ramble on into my likes and my dislikes for this bike. And at 2,000 miles, I think, you know, I've got 7-8 months and 2,000 miles on the bike now. Let's, good grief. 2004. So that's the year the Harley is, 2004. Let's get into my likes and dislikes. I like the size of the bike. It is just a touch small for me. I like that. It makes it feel like it makes it feel like a scooter, you know. I was like, where's Pete? Oh crap, where's Pete? It's like a scooter for me, you know. If you guys don't remember, I'm 6'4". I'm 200 and I think 59 pounds now. I've lost a little bit of weight since I did the ride on the blue bike, on Sam's bike. I've lost a little more weight since I did the ride on this bike even. Squirrel. But yeah, I love the size of the bike for me. It's just a little on the small side. It feels like a scooter. Like Pete jumped on it when I first got it. He's like, holy cow, that is way bigger than it looks. And I'm like, yeah, it is. It actually, and it's really comfortable. My seating position, if I move forward a little bit, I'm sitting straight up and down on it. And my hips are in, I don't know what you call this seating position. It's a neutral seating position to me. My feet aren't forward and they aren't back like they are on the Continental GT. They're not forward like they are on the Harley. They're not back like they would be on the Continental or on the GT 650. I guess that's a Continental too. I don't remember. Anyway, I really like that. My hips don't hurt when I sit on this bike. I can sit on this all day without my hips feeling like they're in a bind or like my muscles are trying to hold my body in a weird position. My feet are kind of up. It would be a little bit better if they were maybe a half an inch lower, but even that, they're tucked, you know. A lot of people complain, and I remember when I first got on this, I saw the videos, the guys were complaining, oh, the foot pegs are in a weird position. They are kind of further out, and they have to be because the engine and transmission on the bike are pretty wide. And at first that was odd, and a lot of people were complaining about it, and I don't think I complained about it so much as I noted that it was a thing, and it was odd. And I'm going to say now, I actually like it. Because, again, that's this way. That's a neutral position for me. My feet are out, my legs are spread. It keeps my knees away from the motor. So like in the summer when it's a little bit hot, or well, when it's like scorchingly hot outside and the engine's running a little bit warmer, it's not like the Harley where I've got metal parts that are being cooled by the wind, or rather not cooled by the wind because I'm sitting at a stoplight actually touching my thighs. That hurts. You have to sit weird to kind of avoid that. But on this bike, it's the seating position with the feet where they are. It keeps you away from the motor, and I really like that. One of the things I don't like is the seat. The seat is too thin, and I commented on that when I rode the bike the first time in that video. I commented on I would probably change the seat, but I like the look of the seat, but I would probably change the seat. Now I'm showing you a picture here of what I've done for the meantime, and honestly, that's pretty good for the little rides I'm doing, 60 to 100 miles in a day. That little cover, I pulled that off the Harley. Steve gave that to me. He's a friend of the family. He gave that to me, and it's got a gel pad that I took out. I took out because it's too thick for this, and that's how I got it to wrap around the bike seat. The way I got it to wrap is there's nothing in there. There are two folded in half microfiber cloths that are in there. Man, I hope you can hear that. God, I love the sound of this bike. We're going to get to that in a second too. There are two microfiber cloths folded in half in there just to give it a little more something. Plus two, I've got two towels that I can wipe the bike down with, you know. But like I said, I was kind of realizing I'm not doing the long trips anymore. I don't feel like I can do the long trips most of the time. And don't get me wrong, I can do it. I don't enjoy it. Because by the time I get there, I'm worn out. I hurt so bad. Excuse me. there isn't enough ibuprofen in the world to compensate for it, and then you've got to come back, and it's like, no. I don't even honestly want to ride down to LA on this, or the BMW, or the Harley, or any of it. That Mulholland ride, I don't think, I don't know, I'd like to do something like that again. And like doing the dirt on this bike, doing Mulholland dirt on this bike would be amazing. This thing can handle it. I really like this bike for that too. But 2010 miles on the clock. So that's my little upgrade to the seat. That, and then you can see the crossed rock straps back there. I did a video on the rock straps. I really like those. I had one of them come loose. Sam was riding this. His bike was down, so he rode this, and I rode the Harley. And one of them came loose and wrapped itself around the axle in the rear. And thank goodness it snapped and gave up instead of causing a more serious problem like locking the back wheel up. I would have felt horrible if that had happened. I used my little hair bungee ties to tie up the straps so that they can't do that now. So that's hopefully not a thing ever again. But my little crisscross rock straps look kind of pirate, And then I got my first seat, and that's kind of, I think right now, I know for right now, that's all I'm going to do to this bike as far as modifications go. I like the controls on this bike. They are not an expensive feeling control set. And the BMW, the controls on that felt really good. They felt expensive. And the controls on the Harley even more so. The controls on my Harley feel even more quality to the hand than the BMWs did. But I'd put them up in the same neighborhood with each other. High-end bikes, These controls feel, the turn signal stock feels a little bit, I don't know, I don't want to say cheap. It feels budget. The buttons all snick positively when you pop them, They snick and they feel good. I'm not going to flip the red one there. Oh, man. I don't, the start button feels good. It doesn't feel cheap at all. It doesn't feel as quality as the Beamer or the Harley. I like the handles. I saw where Stuart Fillingham did the wrap, and I think that looks really cool, and I can see where that gives you a little more girth on the handle to hang on to. And I've thought about that. I have thought about that, but I like these. I like the look of them, and I like the feel of them pretty good. And I tend to wear gloves anyways, because I'm kind of, which he does too, but I'm kind of worried about if I do go down, tearing my hands up, not being able to turn a wrench. So 2012.7. Anyway, I kind of dig that. I like the handles. I like the control levers. They feel good. They're not the same kind of quality as what you see on the Harley or what I had on the BMW, but they're up there with it. I mean, they're cast aluminum. They feel good. And the thing is, they're aluminum, and they're bare aluminum. So if you wanted, you could polish them up high, Same with the engine cases. I'm still gonna say fit and finish on this bike is really good. It's really good for the price. It's pretty good overall in general. Everything fits together well. Having lifted the tank on it a little bit, having pulled a few pieces apart on it, you've seen a lot of that in the videos. Everything fits proper, and I like it. I like it for that. I like these mirrors. A lot of guys are changing out to other stuff. If I have to replace these, I will probably get the same thing. I have thought about doing like the underneath the handlebar ones, but I think you get reduced visibility with that. And I actually like the way these look, so. What else? The paint is a little bit soft. I don't know if I want to say soft. It's when I took the reflectors off of the forks, because I took them off the back, I took them off the forks. When I took the reflectors off, it kind of scuffed the paint a little bit, and I need to polish that back out. But the paint seems a little soft on some parts. Oh man. So I don't know, that's kind of, I don't care for that. What else? The seat was the big complaint that I have. The seat is too thin. The suspension is a little stiff, I think. But I will say this, in 2,000 miles, it has softened up considerably, and it is a lot better than when I first bought it. And I know, I think in Nitpick, I said something about the suspension being a little bit too tight. And it was really bouncy, but I've also learned to react. I react to when I feel a bump in the front, and you can feel it in the handlebars. When I feel a bump, I just push down on my feet a little bit. I just push down a little bit on my feet. Ooh, gravel. And I just take my butt off the seat just a touch. Not like standing up, because I can't. You can't. This bike is small enough that I can't stand up on it and still control it. But I can just squat on the foot pegs and let the back ride over that bump. And it's really not that big of an issue. So it's kind of gotten to a point where it's like, after 2,000 miles on it, my reaction time on that's gotten pretty good. And I don't even know if I need to change the suspension out. I might not. I'll probably just leave it alone. So, 2016. So here's the thing, and I'm gonna kind of wrap this up a little bit because we're almost there. Ooh, see, this kind of junk right here is what gets you killed. With a 3-year unlimited mileage warranty, my intention is to not do anything to this bike for at least the first 2 years. By then I should know if I'm going to keep it forever or if I'm going to let it go. I have had a couple of people kind of semi-interested in buying it. So, you know, I don't know. I might look at that. We'll see how it does. Right now, this bike has been nothing but reliable. I have not had even one issue. It's just been great. Just basic maintenance, and it's been great. We're what, 1,000 miles, we're coming up on another maintenance service, so we'll see how it's doing there. I intend to leave it bone stock for the first couple of years, and we're coming closer to the end of the first year, so, you know. After that, I am thinking, oh, see, that was where I just kind of lifted up and rode those out. There's 2 big potholes I just rode over. I did not mean to do that. I guess it would behoove me to slow the hell down. So, yeah, the first couple of years, I intend to leave this bike bone stock. I am absolutely enjoying the videos where they are modifying them. I do enjoy that. I broke traction on the back wheel there just a little bit. I am enjoying immensely watching these guys modify these bikes, especially Tech Bike Parts. I've really enjoyed watching his videos. Stuart Fillingham, I've really enjoyed watching his videos. Man, that 701 is a cool bike. I really like watching those. Big bumps. Good grief. But I intend to leave this bike stock for the first couple of years. When I get to it, I will probably change out the exhaust for the S&S slip-ons that Royal Enfield is offering. I think they're the best looking. I would like these to be a little bit smaller. I definitely want them to be lighter. I will do the DNA air filter kit and the exhausts probably at the same time. I will dude, I did it again. I did it again. I saw Pete go for the I saw Pete go for the sand, and I pulled the total BMW. I jumped in the sand. That was squirrely as hell. Oh God, that scared me. Okay, so yeah, we'll probably do the slip-on exhausts, the S&S, for the weight savings and the improved performance. I will probably do the DNA air filter kit and get that opened up. I saw Tech Bike Parts has a sensor interrupter that lies to the computer and tells it it's a couple degrees cooler. And according to him, you should not see, according to him, you should not see a change in your fuel economy when you're cruising. It only dumps more fuel in when you're taking off. So I think that's kind of cool. Let's shut this down. I think that's kind of cool. I think that's a good idea. I might upgrade the suspension down the road if I decide to keep going with this. I can't imagine why it's so busy out here today. I might upgrade the suspension. I think on the next service I am going to go with the X-ring chain. I haven't done any chain maintenance on this at all to date. And I haven't washed the bike. I did a ceramic coat on the tank, the exhausts, all the painted parts, the headlight, the handlebars, all the shiny bits basically. When I first got it, I did the ceramic coat, and that's been really good because the dust just blows right off the bike. I haven't needed to wash it. I need to clean the wheels. I need to clean the wheels. They look kind of grody, and the chain, and there's some spots in the engine down there. I'll take a couple pictures here and roll them in, but some spots on the engine that look like they could be washed off. But I'll tell you what, guys, after 2,000 miles, I'm getting used to the bike. I'm really enjoying it. I like it more and more the more I ride it. I never would have gone for this style of bike, but I'm really glad I did. It's been great, and it's just improving. It's nothing but improvement. The suspension is softening up. The bike runs better. The engine is broke in now, and it just feels fantastic. It takes off, and it goes. And it goes every bit as fast as I need it to go. I'm really enjoying it. So there you go. There's 2,000 mile, I don't know, I don't want to say review, but there's 2,000 mile review. That's what I think. That's where I'm at. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to go shoot some guns with Pete, and we will catch you. I might catch you on the ride back, but if not, guys, take care. Have a good one. Oh, yeah. Good day at the range. I didn't record any of it. Oh, 5 dogs. That gravel right at the end. Oh boy. 2019.2 miles. 2020 miles in 2020. I didn't do that on purpose either. It just occurred to me as I was leaving that I would be doing that. Look at that. Look at that. Good Lord, that's pretty. Isn't that pretty? 2019.9. There you go. 2020. Oh man. So yeah, I just shot some 38 special on my GP100 today. It's my favorite revolver, I think. I think that's my favorite revolver. Now you got to remember this. And I was thinking it was on the next turn. Oh, that put that junk in the road for a while. Pete's good. So yeah, on that, I think I'm going to leave the bike stock, at least during the warranty period, or the most of it. At least during the most of it, almost all of it, if not all of it. But when I do start messing with it, I think the only things I'm going to do are the exhaust. I would like something a little smaller. I would like something a little smaller and definitely lighter, more airflow through it. Oop, bump. Look at all them birds. I love the way this thing runs. We're doing 60, 65 through there. That's pretty cool, huh? Gotta slow down. There are cops out here occasionally, and you're supposed to keep it under 55 miles an hour. The way this thing pulls, it's so good. That's another like on this bike, the clutch. It's got the assist semi-slipper clutch thing. I don't remember what that's called. But it helps you shift, and it's phenomenally good, especially when you are grabbing gears real hard and fast. There's nothing hard about it. Ooh, car. There's nothing hard about it. It's just so, you just tap it with your toe, one way or the other. It's just so easy to shift gears and get it right. Maybe 3 or 4 times I've had false neutrals anywhere but between first and second, you know, and that's me kind of not really doing it right. It's my fault. I don't want to say it's the same gear every time, like 3rd and 4th or 4th and 5th. It's just so smooth. Yeah, I think the S&S will probably be the ones. If I can find something smaller between now and then, I'll probably go that route. The shocks, they're getting better, but they're not there. And I'm pretty sure by the time I'm ready to do it, a good company like Brembo, or not Brembo, Olin's or somebody's going to make a good shock set for this bike. I don't think they're going to change this thing anytime soon, and I hope they don't, because it's a really good bike. doing 70 in fifth. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it back down to fifth too. So again, this road is not that good. So I mean, it's a smooth road, but it's not smooth. It's not a potholey road, but it's bumpy and bouncy, and that's honestly makes it kind of hard to. So I'm squatting over the seat more than I'm sitting on it. I'm just letting the bike pivot on the in the arches of my feet. I love this right here. Woo! You're kind of if you accelerate down that, you're almost, it's not, you're not popping a wheelie, but you can feel the front wheel gets really light. I love it. Ah, Pete's right behind me, man. Oh man, what a bike. What a bike. Oh, they took the bees out. I'm not upset about it, I'm just surprised. They probably got a farmer paying to have bees brought in. Oh, that was a pothole. Thank goodness the edges of it were round. Boy, I almost flew right over the top of it. So I guess the big question, I said in the review, not review, it wasn't a review. So I guess the big question is, after 2,000 miles of living with this bike, been a little over 6 months, I pinned the comment in the initial video on this thing, would I buy it? Yes, I would. Ooh, man. So yes, I would, because I did. Oh, man. Yes, I would buy it because I did, was in the comment. So, I guess the question is, after 2,000 miles, would I still buy the bike? Knowing now what I knew then, or knowing then what I know now, would I still buy this bike? Would I still want this bike? Knowing what I know about the bike, I'm going to exclude all other factors. Yes, I would, for sure, absolutely. If you go buy this, this is not something that you're going to regret owning. And I'm going to say something that I said in there again, because I think it bears repeating, guys. I said towards the end of it, I think that this is a great beginner's bike, and I really do think it is. It is so easy to operate the clutch on this. It is so easy to shift gears on this. The center of balance, everything is so easy on it. And I'm watching all the videos of you guys out there riding these things. And some of you are a lot smaller than me, and some of you are normal-sized human beings, and some of you are my size, just ridiculously large and overweight. And and I'm watching how easy it is for all different sized guys to sit on one of these and get it going and really enjoy riding it. And I'm gonna stick with what I said on starter bike. This is a great first motorcycle. This is a fantastic first motorcycle. I highly recommend it for that. And I'm also going to stick by what I said. It's a bike you're not going to grow out of. It's a bike you're not going to grow out of. And if you buy one new as your first bike, and you can, the nice thing is you can afford to, because it's, you know, it's only $6,500 for one of these. I think they're less than $7,000 out the door. Just about anywhere you're going to buy one. I would recommend buying it new. Get that warranty, and get that warranty. And the thing is you're riding your first motorcycle. If you follow the rules on the break-in, you're riding this thing very mellow. And by the time you get used to the bike will be broken in, and then you can start opening it up a little bit here and there, and start seeing what you can do with it. You can start getting into that, you know, 4,500, 5,000 to 7,000 RPM rev range, where you're really cranking on it. And really going. We're doing 70 now. And now I'm in 6th at 65. And we're cruising, what, 4,000, 4,200 RPM? Smooth. Yeah, that's 6th. Yeah, you're by the time you get used to the bike, you'll have it broken, and then you can start opening it up a little bit more and really enjoying it. And you'll have enough experience riding the bike that you can do that safely. And you need to maintain a speed safely. When you're riding, they say, oh, don't ride outside of your level of experience. Your level of experience. Whew, that was a bump. They say don't ride outside of your level of experience, and I'm going to say yes and no. I'm going to say don't ride radically outside of your level of experience, but you need to learn things and try them and push it a little bit, but do it in an educated and intelligent manner. When I started riding, I didn't know about counter steering, and now I do. And I had to go out, and outside of my level of experience, I had to play with counter steering, and now I know how to counter steer. Really, really cool, you know. But if you go, oh, I can only ride inside my level of experience, you're not going to learn that stuff. So the thing is, you get this as your first bike. By the time you get it broken, you'll be experienced enough with it that you can start opening it up more when it's available to you, you know, because you've got the break-in period done. And this is something that, honestly, guys, and I'm telling you, after 25 plus years of riding motorcycles, you're not going to outgrow this bike where this isn't enough for you. You're just not going to. You might want a bigger, more comfortable bike for long road trips. And you might want something for the dirt, you know? And that's all fine, do that. But for a street bike, if you're looking at a street bike and around town, an occasional, you know, a shorter, longer trip, I don't know if that's the world's shortest giant or the world's tallest midget. Anyway, if you want to go on longer rides that aren't too crazy, you know, like if you're going to ride clear across the United States, this might not be a comfortable bike if you're a little bit bigger, but, you know, you upgrade the seat and you might be fine. But this isn't a bike you're going to outgrow, so that's kind of where I'm at with this. It's a great first bike. It's a fantastic first bike because of how easy it is to ride it. And it's something you're not going to outgrow and go, oh, I wish I'd have bought more bike, you know. It's just not, I don't see that happening for anybody. So highly recommend this as an only bike. Highly recommend it as a first bike, never to be replaced bike. So far, I haven't had any maintenance issues on it. No problems. Everything's running good. You know, could it be a little more torquey? Yeah. Could it be a little more throttly? Yeah. Could it have a little more power? Yeah. That's another nice thing. As you're growing with the bike, you know, these are all things that you can upgrade. So you're at a great buy-in price. You're at a fantastic buy-in price for this thing. And little bits of money here and there down the road can actually gain you a lot of performance with this thing. You know? Now, if your goal is to go out and street race and be the Billy Badass that wins the pink slip every time, it's probably not the bike for you. But for all reasonable uses, I think this is it, man. This is just it. What a great bike. Alright, I'm done preaching. I'm gonna scoot on into town here and go sit down and edit a video, huh? Maybe clean a revolver. Hope this is informative. I hope this is informative for you guys. I hope it's helpful. Most of the information I'm trying to share with this is just a regular dude, you know, going about it normal with this bike, not upgrading it, not making it a race rod, not turning it into a scrambler, none of that stuff. It's just me riding my bike, you know. And if it helps you make a decision to buy it, I hope that works. It's just a fantastic bike. You're not going to go very wrong buying this thing. So hope you guys are enjoying these. I hope it's helpful. And that's it. Look at that. Look at that. All right, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.